Rishi Sunak said the country is in an economic emergency and now is the time to be bold.
Boris Johnson has announced the closure of all UK pubs, restaurants, cinemas, gyms as part of the
emergencies. It looks as though we're now approaching the fast growth part.
As you can see, it is absolutely deserted. These are the streets of London at the moment.
Across London.
Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new AstroFX video. So I'm going to take off this mask, and firstly I'm going to talk about the coronavirus. Here in London, stuff's going absolutely insane right now, and me and Sean and the whole of AstroFX team want you guys to stay safe for yourselves, friends and family. Here in London, it's quite a panic with the media really taking this thing quite far. But again, you cannot be too safe. So hopefully everyone's stacked up. Here in London, we might have a lockdown. So hopefully you guys are staying safe.
That's right. So it all kind of kicked off since we got back from LA. If we stayed in LA for one more day, then we wouldn't have actually been able to get back home. So we're here, we're back. All the drama, all the media is pumping this fear-based stuff out there. You know, everybody just chill out a little bit. Supermarkets getting emptied, people in panic, etc., etc. Markets are crazy as well. Last 2 weeks, we've actually been quite active in the markets with GBP AUD. That's been moving 400 pips more or less every single day. We have other markets as well, which are going crazy too.
I was going to say global markets are down 30%, gold's down like 3%, crude oil was just like plummeted.
Yeah.
So it's pretty insane right now. Even if you look at the numbers of the deaths and stuff like that, again, we don't know too much about this virus, but I think roughly it's 200,000 people have been infected, and I think just less than 10,000 people have died worldwide. Again, these numbers, we ain't too sure about them, but we just want everyone to stay safe.
That's right. We need to see more evidence. One thing I will mention as well, gold prices. In November, I did post out there that gold was expected to hit 1,700. It did tap 1,700 and then collapsed. The gold's been doing like 400 or 500 pips a session on some of the days. So again, put it out there to people on Instagram. Just be careful in this volatile market. There's many opportunities there as well, but just reduce the lot sizes, take money management into consideration.
Even if you look at the pound movement, GBP USD for us guys in the UK, pounds literally almost on par with the US dollar, with hitting lows of 1.14 yesterday. So, you know, with all this movement going on right now, I know everyone's trying to speculate and make all these emotional based decisions with their money. I suggest if you don't know what you're doing, then maybe leave it alone for a bit, because this uncertainty is definitely going to cause people to make some rash decisions within all markets, especially Forex.
Yeah, for sure. If you look back at the when the Swiss franc went a little bit wild, we're getting similar market conditions, the same as that right now, even with GBP USD, even with the gold movement. A lot of people, the stop losses aren't actually being honoured by some of the brokers, and some brokers have actually halted business for a while because they can't keep up with the slippage and the server issues and stuff like that. So yeah, just be careful going into the next month or so. Yeah,
we'll update you guys as we get on anyway. But now some good news. AstroFX has actually just turned 6 years old.
Little baby.
So AstroFX turning 6. Me and Sean, we had planned to do something special like we always do. We planned to open our offices up to the public, potentially do a massive AstroFX event as well. However, with this news coming around, you know, with all the stuff about, you know, I think it's social distancing, we decided to like hold off on that event for now. But I said to Sean, you know what, for everyone that's sat at home right now, working from home, let's create some content for you guys. So me and Sean, after so many years, have probably never sat down and had a conversation about Forex, business, relationships, anything, money. And so I thought we'll crack open a bottle of whiskey. Sean will, tell you about this toilet paper and how much it's worth right now.
It's worth more than gold right now.
And we have a fun conversation here today about Astro and
evolution,
how we got here.
Yeah, for sure.
So starting off, I think, you know, a lot of people always don't actually know how me and Sean actually met. I think I started trading in late 2009, and you know, to think that we'd be sitting here from me when I first started. Again, I just bought an online course, as everyone does. Tried to get my grips of what's going on, create a Facebook account, start trading some posts, guess what's on Facebook?
Yeah, so back then I was quite active on Facebook, and I was posting charts and recommendations. Looking back, it wasn't the best in the world, but I still had, you know, some good success with it. So I created a Facebook group, and I was just, number one is that it's a lonely game, especially when you're learning on your own in your bedroom. And you know, I was dedicated back then. I was putting in 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, and the Facebook group for me was a way in which I could communicate to people all around the world in regards to trade ideas, recommendations, and try to connect with like-minded individuals. And that's where I actually found Nat in that group randomly. And he lived 40 miles away from me, and then we connected and we met up and went from there.
I think a lot of people that watch this video probably will relate to my story when this is like many years ago now, obviously 6 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that. Actually, no, more than that.
It was more than 6
2009. So back in 2009 when I first started, I actually tried to literally search for people that lived near me in my area and, okay, cool, can I connect with them? Can I connect with them? And when I saw Sean, I think one thing that we had in common was we didn't have like no plan B or plan C or plan D. It was, we're gonna make it from trading or we're gonna like die trying or like go broke trying. And I think that's where we got along really well. I remember getting into my car, driving, as Sean said, about 40, 50 miles towards Stafford, where Sean's from. And we went for like a bit of food and just pretty much got along from there.
Yeah, I think like every time we met up was more or less like a brainstorm session, and we had the synergy and the relationship where it was all about like a bigger picture. We didn't have like one goal or this and that. We kept our it was limitless as to what we were working for. And even now we sit here, we knew we were going to do well because we had the drive and the passion, but what we have now has kind of exceeded our expectations. So we always used to meet up, brainstorm, go back to the drawing board, see where we can work on our trade and so on and so forth. And other things happened down the line. Once we started to build our like Facebook reputation, we really started from the bottom. This was before Instagram as well.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people that when they, if you're new to the Forex market or you're trying to be a trader right now, I think definitely people will try and make it seem that within a month or within 3 months or within 6 months, you're going to be highly profitable. Myself and Sean, again, with those unrealistic expectations, definitely learned the hard way. Because for me and Sean, I think for me anyway, it was about 3 years, 3.5 years of constantly failing. You do well for a short period, you lose it all. You build a track record for 2 months and then you blow it again. And I think during those times when me and Sean stayed in contact, we realized our journeys were quite similar, but we knew we were getting that much better every single time, a little bit better. And sometimes you have to look at all the mistakes and go, right, I'm not going to do them anymore. But then you'll do them again. Yeah. I'm not going to do them anymore.
I feel that we were both in a space where we worked and we went down the like formal education route, and it just wasn't for us. And we could relate to sitting at home all day, looking at a screen, and being in that stagnant space, which I know a lot of people when they first start are in, and it's a lonely game. And we bumped heads on the same period on our paths, and then we started to, thank God we had each other on the way. Went through many ups and downs to even just get the grasp of where we were heading into. But yeah, we made it overall, and it took some time, but we continued.
And it's crazy, when we started to do pretty well, I'll be honest with you, me and Sean had no intention of helping anybody in the market, just because no one ever really helped us. And we had lost so much and we trusted the wrong people, like everybody does. And then after a while, I remember it was a kind of an email that we had got from some companies in Canary Wharf, obviously here in London, that said to me and Sean, we'd love to invite you guys down. That was followed by another 2-3 messages from other companies. So me and Sean, we thought to ourselves, let's go meet these people. And we're doing pretty well ourselves in the Forex market, but I wonder what this company wants from us. Got there, and this company in particular, 2-3 of them were actually teaching Forex to people. And when me and Sean went in, and luckily me and Sean knew what we were talking about, we asked for stuff like, a little bit of results, how do you guys trade, what's your strategy? And sooner or later we realized this company was simply just taking information online and just selling it in a course.
Yeah, they were very primitive. I mean, like, we went down there and they had a good...
Yeah. Now first you got to tell them about how we actually went down there with a bottle of vodka.
We went on the train. We got this call from these guys who were in Canary Wharf. Was it One Canada Square? Whatever. But we went down there, like, fun day out. Got a bottle of vodka on the train, as you do, and just went for it. Met up with a few of the guys, learned about what their goal was and how they were operating, so on and so forth. And it was kind of basic what these guys were doing, and it was more or less, I think we just came onto Instagram then, or just shortly after we did. But these guys were, very amateur on the way they were, but they were luring people in, they were sucking people in. There was a couple of different groups of these out there, and then we went back, and after a heavy night, we went back. And
first of all, I lost Sean on the train home afterwards. Yeah. The vodka started to kick in throughout the meeting. And I remember losing Sean on the train. I think the doors, so I didn't know my way around London, the tubes at all.
Oh yeah, it was one of the
And then Sean, I think, I got into the tube.
I tried to run on, fucking door shut.
The door shut, and I never saw Sean again for about 2 days.
Bye, mate. But yeah, I feel like that experience there and that coming up at that certain time and the decisions that we made afterwards were what triggered the whole what we have here, Astro, and the empire that we're creating. I mean, we took a look at the game and what these guys were doing, and the content was terrible. And we knew that from the experience that we've had from the previous 3 years and all of the hardships that we've gone through, that we can provide better and we can provide more. So I remember this very, very well. At that time, honestly, I was trading about £20,000, and I had a really, really good like stretch, couple of weeks, whatever, and I withdrew some money. I said to Nat, I was like, fuck it, let's go to Dubai. I never really traveled back then. Never went to Dubai. I was like, Nat, let's go to Dubai. And I was like, no, let's invest it into an office, into the business. So we went down that route, and then we went to, I think it was Pizza Express in Birmingham, because we always used to meet up in Birmingham.
We still eat Pizza Express, by the way. I had it about an hour ago.
It's fucking, yeah. It's in quarantine over there. Birmingham was like the center point for me and him. So we met up in Birmingham, we went to Pizza Express, and we thought, okay, cool, let's look for an office. And I was in Brindley Place, and our first office was on Broad Street above Mooch Bar. And we had a budget. You know, we didn't know what the fuck business was back then. And we were like, oh, £400 a month, £500 a month. So we went to meet one lady for our first two-man office in the corner. Nice little view and stuff, looking at the mailbox.
Well, I think I should tell the story. So again, I've always grew up with quite hesitant about cash. Maybe it's something to do with how I grew up. But then I said to Sean, yeah, look, you know, if we spend £400 or £500 a month, I want to get this office to create YouTube content. So let's just see how it goes. The lady showed us 2-3 different offices. I think the office that in the end that we loved had that view that you guys remember, where it had like mostly glass. Mm-hmm. I would say probably no bigger than the camera to where me and Sean are sitting right now. Yeah. And I think the lady turned around, it's like £1,700 or £1,800 a month. And before I put my hand out, I said, probably not for us. Sean stuck his hand out, went, thank you very much, we'll have it next week.
Then you hit back with all of the Wi-Fi costs and the telecommunications bills and all that kind of stuff. But we went for it and we rode it out. We were always confident in our ability to grow, and then what happened from there is just crazy. I mean, pull up the Astro thing. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, you guys on the screen right now will actually see, I'll slide it in there. 6 years ago, we literally went, after signing the contract, again, went and bought some furniture.
Then we created Instagram. Yeah, because we learned from them other donuts who are on Instagram, and we created an Instagram, and the picture that you've just seen, you can see that we're actually loading the furniture. We went to, was it IKEA we went? IKEA. We went to IKEA, and we got a shitload of tables and furniture and
computers and all this other stuff.
Fucking gadgets. And then we were loading it in there, we've putting the tables together, and that little space, which is probably half of this room right here, was like our little pride and joy. And we used to do like 14, 18 hours a day. I used to get a train every single day from Stafford to Birmingham, and 7 a.m. I'll be there. We'll leave at 10, 11, I'll get the last train home, and we were just grinding, idea brainstorming.
For us, it was just about creating content. We kind of looked at the whole market and we said, no one's really talking about Forex in a fun way. And in our perspective, what would me and Sean have enjoyed 3-4 years ago? Well, I said, Sean, 3-4 years ago, I'd appreciated watching the market be explained the way that I want it to be explained, because a lot of people even back then were just putting a bunch of information out there that was not even very useful. So we went and bought a camera for a few £100.
Wait, what camera?
First it was...
This guy bought a GoPro, a fisheye lens, and we're trying to do videos in the office with a fisheye lens, mate. Them old YouTube videos, I actually went and deleted them because it was terrible.
But we tried. We
scaled up slowly but surely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we pretty much even I think going back then was we bought the Maserati, bought the RA, and we wanted to try and create the channel that had a fun element to it that keeps you entertained, but also is always teaching you guys something about the markets. And that's when we went and created Technical Tuesdays. Yeah. Technical Tuesdays.
How did you think of that name?
I did. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. Sean thought the name Astro. How did you think of the name Astro? Because everyone thinks I thought of it.
I read a book called Ray. What's his name? Ray Merriman. If you look him up, he does like stock market correlations with astrology and stuff like that. And I read like 2 of his books. He publishes one every year. So I thought of Astro, and the old Astro before Astro was actually registered 6 years ago was AstroFX 13. 13 is like a lucky number. For me, so that was just we had a Facebook page called that, and then we cut the 13 off and stuff, but it was mainly because of some resources that I learned from previously.
Yeah, and then for me, Technical Tuesdays represented something that people can look forward to every single week. Again, what I would have wanted when I first started. So
Hashtag TT.
hashtag TT, we, you know, again, would, you know, give you guys information from our perspective, always finish it off with some free trades. And, you know, crazy thing that we actually went 54 episodes with a complete high accuracy rate, great information, and the views just grew and grew and grew. And, you know, even when we first got the office, we thought, what if someone, you know, comes here one day? And before you know it, the office started to be completely busy from students that were, you know, from the very start were traveling all over the world because of those Technical Tuesday episodes.
I feel that I won't say inspiration, but the thesis of Technical Tuesdays came from looking at the people who we went to London to see, who didn't know what the fuck they were on about. So we took a note from their book and provided our skills on top, and it worked out very, very successful to us. I mean, if you look back at some of the previous episodes, like 1, 2, 3, it's good still, it's good. Like he used to do the editing, he had to learn Final Cut Pro, and we bought MacBooks and stuff. Like we were fully invested into this project, and we just did the thing that nobody else was really doing. We're putting our balls on the line. You know, if the first 5 videos, the predictions like Euro USD, etc., went to shit, then we would be toast. But we provided some good, valuable information. Everybody's got to start from somewhere. And we started to hit that realm 6 years ago now. And we got, how many episodes? 54?
54, and we're approaching 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And, you know, me and Sean, we don't ever make a video unless we want to make it. We've never saw it as a chore. We've never saw it as a job.
And one more note on top of that: if we look back at all Technical Tuesdays, we can see our evolution and we can see our growth overall. And we always say to the guys in the other room on the floor, the next level to journaling is not just doing, you know, spreadsheets and stuff like that, but actually recording, doing a screencast of, you know, a couple of times a week of your predictions and reaffirming to yourself to learn and progress. And you can actually look back and say, oh shit, because I've done that, I can see my progress overall. So we've actually, you know, we learn from doing that as well.
Yeah,
and it helps us.
And I think on that point as well, roughly around that time, we had bought those cars and we were making these videos. And, you know, I think at that moment, people always talk about, did you guys get a lot of support on your journey? I'd say, you know, when we got the cars and we were making these videos, it's the first time we actually, you know, we saw the companies out there that were doing Forex courses or, you know, whatever, and they can call themselves Dragons and Wealth and all this stuff, but no one was actually putting a face to the companies. And me and Sean, through social media and YouTube, actually showed our lives from the start to the end of the day. And I think with that, you kind of get, you know, your old friendship circles, and you get a lot of hate and doubt out there. And you got an option of, all right, cool, do I like people talking about me in this kind of way? But me and Sean thought, well, you know what, look all the people, and, you know, 98% of it was support. And then we carried on making these videos that went from 2,000 views, 5,000 views, 50,000 views per video. I think one of my videos has like 600,000 views, which was unimaginable. And I'm glad that obviously, you know, we still stuck it out, because here we are making videos today.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of that as well, when talk about support, I mean, we didn't have nothing from like family support. We weren't taught how to manage money. We weren't taught anything. I wasn't. I have no role model, anything. But looking at that as well, we did everything that we've done now with zero investment. We managed the money from start to where we are now from our two brains right here. And I mean, looking at the evolution, it's, as we go through this video, you'll see how much we've gone through and how much we've learned so far.
One thing you also should know is, don't ever let Sean drive your car. So talking about the R8 Maserati, I said to Sean, in this video, you have to talk about this. So a lot of people, I don't think we've ever talked about YouTube, have we?
I don't think so.
I think, we had the R8 Maserati. One day Sean takes the Maserati, and I let Sean always used to make a joke about it, that he used to call me out of the blue when he's bored and be like, yo, Nat, just crashed the car. And I'd be like, really? Be like, I'm only joking.
Was it crying wolf?
Yeah. He used to like tell me 3-4 times, I've crashed the car, Then guess what happens one day, guys? That blue Maserati that you guys know, that started Astro.
I crashed the R8 as well, but I wrote the Maserati off. Like back then we were doing long ass work days. And sometimes I would get back home like 12, 1 a.m. And I remember one day, we had a mad week, and I had a long drive, and it was pissing it down with rain. And I was going 90, I think it's on the M1 actually, and I aquaplaned. The tyres were bald as fuck because of this guy, didn't change them, but I aquaplaned on the motorway, did like 4 spins, hit the barrier. missed a truck in the middle lane because I was in the fast lane, and I just jumped out the car, airbags went off. I was scared, man. Scary times. But luckily there was like a highway patrol guy right behind me who actually came to save me, and yeah, that was a long night.
Just let you know, this guy has like 45 lives, in case you haven't
so
realised.
many lives.
Like, just the funniest thing could happen, and he would just be like, but I made it through, and I'd be like, how?
Yeah, I've ruined the R8 as well for a little bit, but that for us, it was like, you know, a lot of people have trading desires and dreams and dream boards and whatever it may be. I used to have a compound interest calculator above my little shitty HP laptop back in the day. If I just make 2% a day on this, I'm going to be 450 million up by the end of the year. And I feel that for us, you know, a lot of people, they'll make money but in a boring manner, and they won't really like truly like live life as well. You know, like look at what's going on in the economy right now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future? You know, like we've lived enough and we've had a fucking lot of fun. Whereas, you know, you get the desires out of your system. So with the Maserati and the R8 and the cars and stuff like that, it was just a case of working 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, and just driving a car home and just feeling good with some music on and just chilling.
That's it. And I think from there as well.
And if you see like your work materializing, it's motivation. It continues to kick you up the ass to get out of bed in the morning as well. So that's more or less, you know.
Yeah, and I think, again, going back to the storyline, that from the cars, from the YouTube, you know, we started to get a lot of attention from worldwide. And, you know, I think the first ever trip, you know, again, us guys growing up in kind of a relatively small area in the UK, you know, we got a few invites from a group of people over in New York. Actually, I think that was in I want to say like 2015 sometime. I want to say, if I had to guess. And
my first trip to New York.
Yeah, both our trip to first time to New York.
America.
Yeah,
it was the first time I went to America.
And basically, we had an offer to come to New York and teach a few different individuals. That was one of the funniest trips ever, and that should be good. And a lot of people always say, where's the first place that you got recognized by someone? You know, again, all my friends always tease me like, oh, cool, you know, you're popular, this and that. Where's the first place someone recognized you? Believe it or not, wasn't in the UK, wasn't anywhere. It was a guy in a bar in New Jersey. Can't remember his name. We just come across the bar and he's like, Astro. And I was like, yeah. He's like, can I buy you a drink? And I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely insane. And from there, I think our travels and stuff kind of, you know, got a bit of a pattern.
Yeah, as the YouTube, you know, snowballed, and so did the Instagram, everything organically stemmed into different countries reaching out to us via emails. I remember we used to sit in the office, because it used to just be me and him. We used to get emails from like random ass places, you know, South Africa. Like, how is this guy from South Africa contacting me? And from there onwards, it just grew and grew and grew, and just, yeah, we went all across the world because of the base we grew through socials. All organic. We never paid a penny in marketing, by the way, FYI.
Yeah. I think at one point as well, we went from, if you guys look at the wall next door, which you guys know in the office, we went from New York, coming back, going to Toronto. Toronto was a crazy experience where, again, a few individuals.
And we missed out Spain.
Spain? Okay, cool. Spain. So I'll let you tell the story, Sean.
So basically, Nat, the genius director Spielberg over here, he had this great idea with some shit cameraman who lived down the road from him.
Leave him alone.
No, he's cool. So anyway, we went to Spain and we thought we would make a YouTube video. Some of you guys may have seen it. Now, that YouTube video was fucking hilarious. We actually took it down a few weeks later. I said to Matt, I was like, this ain't good, is it? He's like, nah. I was like, delete. But anyway, we went to, I got a villa in Spain and stuff, and how do you even explain that shit?
The way I'd explain,
how would you explain it?
The way I'd explain it is that, you know, I go, Sean, you know what, we've got a decent following now. We really need a good intro video for our brand. And a few tequilas later, I had this crazy idea about we should go to Spain, invite a bunch of our friends, and just, you know, I mean, it's a really fun video. And
some Spanish models and a hot tub and some ace of spades.
Yeah. I'm guilty. I thought it'd be a fun idea. And when I come back, I remember we shot this Fast and Furious scene in the cars.
So basically, we tried to portray learning Forex as me walking past a girl, picking up some fruit, walking around the pool. I don't even know what the fuck happened from there, but yeah, it was bad. Oh yeah, and Nat walked into a jacuzzi. Now you were in the jacuzzi and a girl walks in with 2 bottles of Ace of Spades. Yeah. Actually, what happened after that was the funniest though, because everyone got too fucked up and we actually got robbed. We actually got robbed. But luckily, my room was closed. Our room, innit?
Yeah.
Our room was closed, and we just continued to have fun.
But again, on an honest story about like, you know, people are always ashamed of the stuff that they do.
No, we took a lot of criticism for that.
I'll own it and say that, you know what, it's something in which you are always going to go through good times and bad times, good content and bad content.
Yeah.
And that was definitely one of them ones where I've looked back at it, and after finishing the whole thing,
Yeah.
I was proud of the video for about 3-4 days.
Yeah, same.
And then
about a week, it was like, yeah, this is so sick. And then one day I said to Nat, I was like, this is shit, innit? He's like, yeah, fuck it off. And then we got rid of it. But it you know, I was wearing a 3-piece suit in 45-degree heat.
It was good times. It was good times.
Anyway, you live and learn.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And then again, you know, just this whole video is for sharing stories. I think from there we ended up going to Toronto. So
That was fun.
Toronto was an amazing place.
I loved my first time in Toronto.
Toronto, we went again and taught, you know, amazing bunch of people. Some of them which we still contact and are good friends with today. And you know, we ended up going out and experiencing all that. I think, you know what, Shunya, tell them the Niagara Falls story.
I feel that.
And the Niagara Falls story.
Yeah. When I went to Toronto the first time, I mean, travel expands your horizons and it just completely shifts your mindset. Now, wherever me and him go, we just live for the moment and we do what we need to do. But Toronto, for me, the first time was incredible. You know, we stayed in a nice, what was it, like
the penthouse.
A nice little penthouse, nice views and stuff. It was summer when we went
Shout
over
out
there.
DJ
as well.
Tara for sorting the penthouse
DJ
out.
Tara. And we just experienced different caliber of people, and you know, we got pretty fucked up for the whole week. We did our work and stuff, but the last day was terrible. We went to Niagara Falls, and this guy's dragging me out of bed, and I'm dying.
I've seen Niagara Falls by the way.
In the back of this girl's little wagon, I'm curled up in a ball, and then we get the drone out.
Oh yeah.
We get the drone out.
I don't know how illegal that was.
The worst hangover ever from like a whole week. And this guy's flying a drone over there and nearly gets us fucking arrested. But we got some good shots of it and stuff. But now Toronto, been there like 4 times now. Really enjoyed the first time. And again, it was like, I think Toronto was like the benchmark for, okay, boom, this is where shit starts. Like, we're out of our comfort zone. New York and stuff was good.
Spain was funny. And then
Spain was funny, but Spain's just for Europe, isn't it? It's like, I don't like Europe. But yeah, Toronto was like out there.
And then I think, you know, we got back after that, and our journey led us to, again, seeing some worldwide visions that we had, and we went and created, which you guys might know as Everything FX. So whilst having all that fun, we got back, we went back to the drawing board, and I said, Sean, you know what, you know, this is bigger than just UK or Birmingham, whatever. Let's create a website which appeals to everyone worldwide, which is everythingfx.com. That got built. And you know, at one point it was getting 60,000 unique visitors a month without spending a penny on advertisement, just through good technical analysis, good content, and you know, we really
Instagram.
Yeah, we spend so much energy on that to again bring awareness to the world about the forex market, and again create this website that had no adverts, that wasn't trying to force you to join a brokerage, that wasn't force you to join anything. I just wanted to again go back to creating a product that I would appreciate when I first joined, because I got told when I joined, oh, go on FX Street, go on Daily FX, you go on there, and suddenly it's just persuading you to join this and put your money here and do this. So we actually created a first website in Forex, had no adverts, that wasn't asking you to join anything. And we even put a free school on there, Practice Pips.
We did that in the first office, I remember.
Practice Pips, 160 pages of free information, and just gave it away to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, from what I remember, 27,500 people downloaded or signed up for the free education, which was mind-blowing to me.
I think EFX, again, we just keep our visuals open and our limits open as to where anything's going to go to. EFX is still like a 6-figure business overall, but you know, that goal and that project was from our first office like 5 years ago. You know, things change, things evolve, and yeah, it did well for a good while. It's still out there and stuff, but we're just too...
Yeah, I think we always want to do what we want to do at the time. We're never again forced into anything.
Yeah.
Anyone that's watching this video,
We don't
trading
ma- we
is
don't
about
marry
being
it.
forced about into anything.
We don't marry the concept.
I think
either.
Everything FX we ran for about two and a bit years, and believe it or not, we're still working on it in the background. Anything that you guys might see goes off the scene is just because we know our energy and our focus, and there's going to be a greater time to go back to that. So Everything FX, for anybody that actually enjoyed the website, that will be coming back in a short few months.